I have participated in a fair amount of online dating and still am to this day. And it's evolved as well. So my first foray into blind dating, other than being set up by friends, was to answer an ad in the classifieds, way back in the day. We met, he had a 5-year-old, I had a 2-year-old, and he was a little more smitten by my daughter than he was me. She was beautiful at 2 years old, whatever. Fast forward to Match.com, so I've been on Match.com. More recently, I've been on, let's see, OkCupid, Zooks. I tried, what's that, eHarmony. Don't waste your time. Do not waste your time. It's not, because you have to pay for that. And Swirler. So what do you think Swirler is?
Doesn't sound good.
It's actually for down the drain. Yeah, that's a good one. It's actually for interracial dating. I have, for the most part, the last 20 years, I've primarily dated men of color. Much to my daughter's chagrin, because she's white, and she's like, "Mom, why weren't you into black dudes when you had me? I have the beautiful mocha skin." Sorry, babe, I just, So Swirler's on there too, and my approach has typically been to build it and they will come. So I put up my profile and I just wait. And you really don't have to wait very long. They just come out of the woodwork, right? I think literally they come out of the woodwork. And on Swirler, it's really interesting because I get a lot of men from Ghana. I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting, go to Africa. No, that's not really what they're looking for, right? Yes. Most recently, I sat with a girlfriend. We had a bottle of whiskey. And I've taken her on as my mentor. She's supposed to be here today, but she had tooth surgery and food poisoning all in one day. So she's like, I'm so sorry, I can't be there. However, we sat. She's in a very happy marriage, and I'm like, I need to approach this a little differently to get different results, right? And I've written my list for the perfect guy, like how many times, right? I'm just trusting the universe that he's going to show up. So she and I sat, and I joined, gosh, I keep wanting to say Tumble, but it's Bumble and Tinder at the same time. And on these, it keeps getting easier and easier, right? So now you just literally swipe left or swipe right. Swipe left is a no. Swipe right as a yes, and we're just going through these, and she's like, I'm going to trust your instincts because mine clearly are not good. So she's like, we're sitting there with my phone, like, a couple glasses of whiskey and in her bed, and it's, a slumber party, swipe left, swipe left. And she made me agree to swiping right on at least 25% white guys, right? Because I'm like, really? I'm not interested. She's like, you must keep your options open. I'm like, okay, fine. So swipe right on, I'm like, are you keeping track? Feels like a lot of white guys. She's like, just keep swiping right. Okay, fine. And they have to have said something. They have to have said something about themselves. That's another rule, because if they said nothing at all, then they're just looking for a hookup, right? So she's got this whole list of new rules for me to approach us in a different way. Because typically, you build it and they would come. I don't look for anybody. I just wait for them to find me. I'm like, I'm trusting the universe. Isn't that how you do that? She's like, no, girlfriend. You got to take this into your hands as well. So anyway, I'm swiping right on these white guys. And guess what? Not one of them has spoken to me. Not one. So I'm like, okay, so much for your 25%. I did my due diligence. And The other thing I did was see an iridologist. You know what an iridologist is?
No.
They look at your eyes and tell you your entire history of your life. And he looked at my eyes, and I don't know about the iridology thing, however, he is very intuitive. And he looked at this one line in my eye and said, "You need to forgive your father." I'm like, "My dad? No, my dad was awesome." It's like, "No, you have to forgive your father. As soon as you forgive your father, your man will show up." I'm like, okay, whatever. So the thing that I have to forgive my father for, which I knew, but I didn't think it was really as deep as all that, was that he didn't really love my mother. And he didn't show up for a way that showed emotional support for my mother. So my pattern has been choosing men that are unavailable. Imagine that. So I wrote a letter to my father, and the instructions were to write the letter and burn the letter. So I wrote the letter. The other instruction, can I have just one more minute, was to read this or to memorize this daily and to rub forgiveness essential oil on my heart. So this is my mantra for the last 6 weeks. I trust in myself. I know who I am. I know how I serve. I am strong. I am clear. I trust in me. I trust in God. I trust God in me. I trust in love. I trust in my love. I am strong. I am clear.